So I ended up, I was planning on it, going back on Twitch and getting Final Fantasy IX done. And I haven't gone back to it because I got horribly ill. I have severe allergens and I get hit with one. So I was pretty much down for the count for quite a while. And then as I was getting boosted again, I started reading my Modern Werewolves. There's over 1 million words in Modern Werewolves by itself. So it's a long, long series. And instead of getting back to Final Fantasy IX, I started working on Modern Werewolves again. There's currently no open stories because I cleared through a novel, a novella, and finished the novella that was open. So I just added more words. I figured I do need to go back and finish all of Final Fantasy IX. You guys totally never made a comment to me while I was out sick. So I am going to do formatting for my Modern Werewolves. I'm going to clear through all of them. That's my goal. The reason that I'm doing the quick formatting for all of them is so that I can have a paperback copy. Editing on a paper, editing a physical copy in your hand, like, I did. I don't have book 1 and book 2. I'm still wearing my pajamas. So this is book 3. It's fancy. I'm not gonna go and do a fancy cover for these guys, like making sure that there's a wolf on there, making sure that there's a symbol. It's just gonna be far more basic because I don't have covers pre-made, and covers can take, a fast cover takes an hour because you have to make sure the sizing is correct and all that. So I'm going to use KDP's auto cover, and they all come with this proofing. So nowadays, actually, they come with, I have it here somewhere. My collection of books is next to me. KDP now comes with that, not for resale. Do they still have the proof in the back? They do not. So instead of saying proof on inside, you get a cross over the cover, which I do not like. It's good to indicate that no, this is not the final copy, this is not sellable, it's not marked sellable by the author, so like for an ARC. But I'd rather have the proof on the inside to indicate that. I'm never doing the bet and other short stories. It's going to end up going into a different story group. But this is book 3. I had book 1 and book 2 published. I took them down because they need trigger warnings. And I do want to go in and change a few things as I'm realizing certain concerns and discriminatory wording that I used. I gotta switch all their instances of where they talk about crazy, because if you notice, it's book 3 of Crazy Alphas. I have to switch all instances of crazy with wild. The wolves go wild as they age. They do not die from old age, they die from losing connection to humanity, which makes them quote-unquote go insane, which is not really what I want to say. I want to say that they go wild, that they return to the wilds. So it's going to be a wording switch out, and it's going to require a lot of editing to make sure that works, because I can definitely make it work. It's just going to take a lot. So I want to get all of them. I'm going to switch to not be right back. I'm going to switch to main. So I have a lot of them. And my numbers are weird. Just like skipping, and I have a few that are A, B, C. You'll notice that 1 and 2 are missing. That's because they're in the published group, or were published. and I have those. I am going to choose to do, wait. There it is. So I got Secret of Pack 413, 5x8. That's what they're in. So they look like this. And I could technically, when I do series, I have a tendency to just take a precursor series book and just use that exact book to create my next group, so that my formatting is similar. Because as you go through a series, you want to see the same formatting, generally speaking. And if you want to change the formatting to a later book, that means you really should go back and change all of them. That sounds fabulous. And I'm actually better with formatting inside of a book than formatting the outside of the book. It's not that I haven't done covers, you know, I do this, and I have something that works as a basis, full cover, which gives me a general consensus. It's just, let me close that. It's harder for me because I don't have as much graphic design experience as I do with formatting experience. I have a lot of formatting experience. I actually got to learn how to do complex formats because here I have a collection of different ones that are already set up to the appropriate size. I pulled up a 6x9 and called it MD1. So if I want to do all of them set up for 6x9, I gotta do that. Which I'm thinking of doing just because of the length of the book, and all of my books are turning out 6x9. Except for a few of them, like the Bet and the other short stories that I was showing you, that's a 5x8. And that's the other size I'm using. 5x8 is closer to a typical book, which would be that. So those two are pretty much the two that I use. When I open them up, they're set up for me. I don't have to go through all the formatting. No, actually it's not that. It's actually file, page setup. And if you notice, not there, paper. You have to go into page setup paper to do this. It's crazy, right? And then you would have to format. No, I'm calling it format, but it's all, so header and footer. And then you would do, and I'll occasionally do this, is, I'm good, I know what I'm doing. Is it this one? No, that's, it's something here. I think it's this one. There it is. Nope, that's not it. Where are you? Oh, look at the time. Control Z, delete, undoes it. So this button here is same as previous. So if I don't want it same as previous, and then I can move, and these guys show next section. I got book title here. I don't want book title. I don't remember what I was doing. Alright, so when I do a fast, if I do a fast formatting, there's only a couple items that I'll do. But a fast formatting is meant to be Secret of Pack 413. I'm good. I remember my titles. And author name, that would be me. Nope, Todd Liebman. Everything is Todd Liebman. In Modern Werewolves is trigger content, definitely. I always update the copyright You don't need anything else in copyright besides the date and your name and the ISBN number. If you want to add a whole bunch of things here, there's nothing saying you can't. You don't even need all rights reserved. The only line that actually matters for lawyer purposes and legal purposes is literally your copyright date and the ISBN number. If you go and get more notes, like if you put it into Library of Congress and you want to note what book it is associated with that, or if it's connected to some other book, it's like if you have a different edition, you could write down the copyright for that edition. Like I can write previously published under Cat Hartley. That's useful information for here. If you have a publisher, publisher goes here. If you have a whole bunch of other information, it goes right there. I don't have an ISBN, I haven't created that yet, and since I'm doing a fast, I'm not publishing yet, I don't need to worry about it, but the ISBN and the copyright date must go there, and they must be on the second page, bottom of the second page, on the back of the cover page. It is essential. This is a requirement when formatting. Okay? You need the cover correct, you need the author correct, and on the back of the cover page, you need the copyright number and the ISBN number, and pretty much everything else is really up to you as how you want to do it. Like if you want a dedication, cool. If you don't want a dedication, cool. Nothing says you need one. I actually have one pack of 413. So it was first copyrighted in 2018. That was the first time I did it. I indicated that my cover art was made by me. There was nothing else. And that's where you'd put the cover art indication. So, Crazy Alpha has this as a dedication. I want justified. So if I don't like this, the two next to each other, because it sets it up that way, because of the size of the page, I already have formats in here. It's confused. I do not have formats. Cool, I gotta make formats. Alrighty. So what if, because it showed me having book title with all caps. What if I wanted all caps here? It's actually not hard. I can format this particular item, or I could format the whole section. I can create a section for title. So formatting, I'm going to choose new style. I'm going to create title. And this is going to be the title of the whole book. Good. Do I want Garaman as my book font? Sure, that sounds good. So I want to, it's a built-in title, MD title. So I need all caps. So all caps will be here. 36. Do I want to go bigger? We can go bigger. Why didn't you know there? Did I not hit OK? I'm good. What is going on here? Why is my format is going weird? Okay, we're gonna save this and close. This is all here. What the hell? I like this concept with the lines. I should show you what it means. I'm gonna close that. And I put it on the desktop. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. What the hell? So there we go, that sounds better. So what if I wanted to do something similar and be like, alright, how am I gonna do the author? I don't want MD title, because if I do MD title, it ends up being 40. We don't like that. So we're gonna create a new style, and we're gonna do MD author. So now all of them are gonna set up as author. We don't want 40. We want more like 24. So now it's going to be bigger than a typical thing. Mind you, since I used the basis of the author title for author, it gave me the all caps. Copyright. These guys we want to leave. They're size 10 font. The only time I've ever moved them out of size 10 font is when I was doing a large paperback. I brought them up to 12 so that they're a little bit easier, but even then it's not necessary to really boost them because it's just there for, what's it called? Blank. It's there for legal purposes. So dedication, this is CPSP chapter title. This format came with the thing. If I did title, that's too big. But I do want to create a new style, and this is the one that I would use for MD chapter title. So I'm basing it off of title, but I don't want size 40. I want size like 24. And what if I wanted to do that line before and after? I think it's border. Hey, do it. There we go. So there, I now have lines to indicate dedication. Now the series, I did this judgment. Okay, so, which I do want for all my books. It's pretty much, it's either going to be justified or it's going to be centered. Those are your two options. So this is CPSP front matter body text, and I kind of do want it different from, I'm going to new style it. I'm just going to do front matter, and I'll probably use this for the back matter as well, whatever we decide to do for the back matter. It is set to Sentry, even though the other ones have been Garamond. Garamond is a pretty safe one to use. Okay, so now as I'm looking at this, this is quite small. 100% would be, this is pretty much the size of the book that we are expecting to see. So this is what we see as our wording. And I look at it, I'm like, Garamond is a pretty easy to read, but a size 12 font is gonna be a little smaller than I prefer. Most people don't mind having smaller print, but I have really, really weak eyes. So even though I don't mark mine as large print, most of them could totally qualify. I will see how long this book ends up being and whether I want to drop sizes or whatnot. So I'll keep it this way for now. Maybe we'll change our entire font. Contents. I'm just going to delete the contents. No, I'll show you how to do contents. I don't want acknowledgements. I have never done acknowledgements, and I've definitely never done it I've never done it in the front. If I'm going to do some sort of acknowledgements, I put it in the back. My dedication is only a short little thing, and I put it in the front. I never do acknowledgements. So at this point, I can't really do contents until after the entire book is done. All right. I'll show you the full format after fast format. So at this point, I have title page done, the cover page, and on the back of the cover page is the copyright information. And then I have a dedication, and then blank page. It is necessary at the back of the dedication to have a blank page. You really want everything to be showing up as you would read a book. So think in terms of, if I'm folding it, you see that dotted line right there? I don't have my mouse clicked in. So you see the dotted line there between the blank page and contents? That indicates that's where the fold will be. It knows it's a book. It's set up as a book. It should show you how to format it for book, but I'm not doing that right now. So I'd rather you just download a whole bunch of files like I did for the sizing. You can get those almost anywhere. The formatting's inside is a little more complicated, but it's easier to just go with a pre-formatted book. You can't do contents until after, oh, there it is. You can't do contents until after you have gotten everything done, because you need to know page numbers. Get rid of contents if you don't want to have the list of pages. If I'm doing just chapter numbers instead of chapter titles, I have a tendency to just delete contents. Realize if you delete contents, you delete both of those pages, one of the whites and the entire content pages, so that it starts over here. Clearly, that does not have an appropriate chapter. I closed it. So we're going down to chapter. So Pack 413 actually does have chapters. Okay, so there is, this is the end of chapter 1. And alright, I'm doing fast chapter, right? So that just means I'm dealing the chapters. So here, we don't want the about the author page disturbed. So I just highlighted all of the excess things. When I am doing formatting specific, like if I'm taking the previous Modern Werewolves books and expanding it to fit my thing, that'll do. One of the reasons this can be problematic is that I lose out on, when they do the chapter title group, no header here. The header is first page header section. Set them pretty fast, just accept their setups, then not. And I have to show you because this is Microsoft Word, because this is the one that I learned how to do all the formatting for. And Google have format or plugin information. Yeah, that was not. But during that class where I had to do those strange formats, I learned all sorts of things, and that's on the fact that English had me doing formatting and science had me doing extensive formatting. I had to. There was an entire lab where we were learning how to use Excel formatting. It was a pain in the neck, and you had to turn in a paper that matched up with the formatting we needed. But it was important because when you're dealing with technical reports, you have to figure out how to pull your data from the Excel sheets, from the spreadsheets. So I've done a lot of formatting. So this isn't exactly that hard for me, but I know that's not how most people feel. And I pulled up, so I'm going to ignore that. I pulled up from my ebook. I'm just going to bring it over here. All right. Now I have all the words. Because I don't retype, I copy. I totally copy paste. Okay, I don't need acknowledgements. And then this. to be published. Taking the old one. I'll show you how to do it with a random, although it doesn't really change anything. I need a disclaimer page. These are all the chapters for this particular one. And this does have, alright, I need a disclaimer page. I'll put Control Enter gives me a new alright, I need disclaimer page for these guys. I'm not talking about triggers, but I indicate on this page I can do that. Alright, so you know what I noticed? That needs to be formatted, so I want to format this. Click on the arrow, click modify, and what I'm seeing is that it is literally right next to both sides, and I do not like that. I want it to automatically have space. So I'm going to put, before spacing, I'm going to do we will make sure there's at least 12 size font before, which is one line, and 5's point after. And then special line and page bank, don't hypervernate, keep lines together, keep this next. So I can do, when I'm doing the ebook, I'll use here page break before for my chapter titles. I don't want to do that in the, I don't have any Asian words here. Update automatically. Okay. So now I have space. The other option was I could press enter, make space. So I indicate that this is a triggering book. That's what the disclaimer was for this. It's indicating that this is triggering. So watch it. It is not romance, even though each book of this series is meant to be a full story surrounding the true mating of a main character. Yes, the true mating is one of the major plots for pretty much all the books. There's a few where it's not, but it's not romance. To be romance, the genre romance, I call this series urban fantasy, and most of them do classify as romance. But to be romance, you must have a happily ever after. It's the only real requirement. For romance, it has to be focused on the relationship build between two or more characters. And mind you, romance, technically you think romantic love, but doesn't truly have to be romantic love. It could be different forms of love. And then the other thing, besides having it being the relationship between two or more characters, it must have a happily ever after. That's where my werewolves don't always match up. They do not necessarily have a happily ever after. I'm trying to make sure that no one's in my chat. Just realized I'm not actually seeing it. So, the novella that I just finished, that I left there. The reason I left it there is because it was very heavy. It was dealing with a depressed character, someone who lost their the most important people in their life, even though it was one of which was false information. And the reason I stopped was because I did not like the direction the story was going. And I took some time away from it, and I'm reviewing it, and I'm looking through it, and I'm like, the story works. The direction it's going in is not positive. That was a tragedy. I killed off the main character. That's how the book ends. I don't normally do that. I don't like killing the main character. The main character can die in future books. I've done that plenty of times. But have the main character die while they are the main character is not pleasant. It was sad. It made my night go poorly because that was the last one I finished. Whereas the novel and the novella that I did prior to that were more happily ever afters. But that's not the first tragedy I wrote in here. And that's really what it ends up being. Some of the shorts don't fall into romance at all, but the novels and the novellas always have that romantic relationship, their true mating. And then I've had situations where the true mating doesn't work for one reason or another. That was the first time I killed on screen. Well, not necessarily on screen. Technically, I don't like writing, well, for the most part, death of my characters. I'd rather leave that be off screen or fade out. So I faded out. She was clearly heading for death, though. At least I hope it's clear. You guys aren't going to find her in the next book. So contents, I'm going to leave that as is. Probably not even going to get this one published. Alright, so now I'm down here. Ugh, you're being difficult. I'm gonna save. So everything's Garamond right now. I got the dedication, disclaimer, contents. It's being difficult. Oh, because it was an ebook. That's right. I gotta reset the formats. So I want to turn this into chapter title. So chapter title is different from the ebook version of chapter title. So I got it all the way up to the top. And I'm like, I have to decide what spacing I want for these guys. It does not look right when you put it right up at the top. You need to really boost it and put it down a little. So, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I check. I'm like, that's actually a pretty good position. So what I'll do is I'll just copy it. Right? Or I can even go up here and do this one. And I'll copy it, which is Control-C. That means that when I find... so these guys are... What was that? Oh, they're having a conversation. So one of the things that I'll be doing when I go through this again is I'm going to cut down these chapter sizes. I've started doing shorter chapters. There it goes. And I honestly am liking it. I'm preferring it. So I do not have, but I have MD front matter. That's going to be a good one to start with, but I need a new style based off of that. So I'm doing MD body, no, chapter, paragraph. I'm good. I can spell things. It's definitely a paragraph. I want a size 12 font and I want Garamond. What I need to do is I need to give it a first line hanging. We don't want 0.5. When we're dealing with ebooks and when we're dealing with paperbacks, 0.5 is too big. You need to bring it down to 0.2, 0.3, or somewhere between the two. You don't have to, but realize you either need the first line hanging or you need the after situation. All right, so I'm going to do first line hanging. I don't want widow orphan control because then it will look funny. Make sure that is off. You don't want page break before. So I got first line indent. Let's see what it looks like now. Or maybe, there you go. See, what's wrong here? This looks very tight. That's going to hurt your eyes. So what I need to do is highlight it all again because I'm amazing. Didn't keep it highlighted. No, you really do need to unhighlight. Until I decide exactly how I want the body paragraph to go, I gotta do this a few times. So the issue was, you suck. So the issue here is that I lost the highlight. No, I need to expand the distance between them. And I can show you how to do that. And realize I'm formatting. When we're dealing with and I didn't have to highlight it because it's technically, I can just hit auto update and it will update it. When I'm formatting for a paperback or an ebook, you really want to use styles and formatting. You want to set up formats. You'll have a much more streamlined book if you did. So here I'm looking for spacing. If you notice my spacing before and after is 0, 0, line spacing is single, and that's actually where your problem. So you want, when you're dealing with paperbacks, you use exactly. When you're dealing with ebooks. When you're dealing with ebooks, you actually want multiple, and you don't want multiple 3, you want to like 0.5. And that way is if they change the font size, it won't look funny, they won't overlap. If you do exactly during a... So here, with paperback, I want exactly. That way I don't have... I'm going to start with 6 and see how it looks. And then if that's not a nice number, look at that. Doesn't work. We're going to keep going. I hate you. So that did not work. I need at least paragraph exactly. We don't want a smaller one. We want to go higher. So let's go 18. So there, much easier to read. So if I'm going with the ebook, I'll probably do 1.5 just so that I have a little easier space to read. Realize for ebook, you're formatting with multiple, and you can do points. That's fine. There's still technically a multiple. It's times whatever font size the person is using. Whereas with paperbacks, this is a photograph. You get to see what is created. So you want exactly. And if I'm like, you know what? I don't want 1.5 like I did right there. I want to do it as exactly 14. Just a little bit more than single. I can do that. It doesn't look good. You can't really do that with... You can't really do that... What is going on here? It's being weird again. Close. Yes. Gotta hit. Yeah, just close that. I don't care. I don't need that now. Okay, so we're gonna pull that back up and find out where the frick is going strange. Right. Like, I don't like all these styles. Styles in use. Styles in use. Okay. So this... Right? This is front matter. What if I want to do that same thing? I'm like, something looks weird about this. And it's probably because... Cancel, I don't want that. Is I need the 18 font. Right? We'll definitely do 18 for front matter. This is front matter. You notice it's expanded some. The disclaimer is important. Content. We want content to be an MD chapter title. So if you notice, this is currently in the wrong format. There we go. And that's going to be too small because Garaman is slightly bigger. And I'm going to need... Okay. And I will actually probably ignore it. I need a little bit more space for my page. Not that much space. Because I only need 3 numbers. Because that's my math. First day of school, so this is... I don't know what happened there. 14... What? Why did you do that? Oh, you suck. Ah, you suck. Why did it end up doing that? Two. I'm gonna at least bring this up a little bit more. Okay, that's a little bit easier for me to read. Alright. So do we like that space there, or should I add more? So one of the special things that I put into my Modern Werewolves books before is that at the beginning of chapters, I actually have... I'm good. I remember what I'm doing. No? I thought I did. There it is. I guess it's there. Copy. I have a little tiny picture. And I can put that into here. Beep. So I just copy pasted. What if I didn't have the option to copy paste? What if I wanted to insert my own picture? Pictures are a pain, but insert picture from file. We'll give it to you. Should I have pictures? No, I don't. Sure, let's go with my no matter what, never give up hope. Clearly, I don't want to keep this here. But it comes in at a particular size. It typically sizes itself so it fits on screen. It doesn't always. There are multiple ways to format it. I do not. My thing went up here. I don't like it up there. I like it having higher. So I have the picture formatting pieces. And typically when you click on a picture, it's going to bring you the format. And there's a whole bunch of things that you can learn and do with it. It's really play around with it until you figure it out. One of the keys. There you go, there's. So that is the format picture, and it does give you quite a bit, and this is typically how I set up my pictures. I will rechange the size with the height and the width based off of all of them. And I'll decide, okay, what is the exact height and width I want? It'll tell me the original size, and you'll notice that I did change this size, and then I just copied paste. I'd rather copy paste. That's so much better, so much easier. All right, so you can change the size and be like, all right, I don't like this size. Let me make it smaller. So this is going to be a size 2. It automatically will do it to you because it wants you to keep the picture in its proper form. What pictures really screw up is you see this little doggy there? So here's your alternative text. Useful to add to it. Doesn't matter to your paperback, but if you were to put pictures into your ebook, which you can do the same technique, I use Word for both, you definitely want alternative text. Alright, so if you're formatting a picture for any device that will read it out loud, you want alternative text. Alright, super important. Here is layout, which is the puppy dog that you were seeing. This wrapping style is how you fuck over yourself in pictures. So when you're dealing with pictures, highly suggested, do it last. Save it, and then as you're working on the pictures, create a new save option, because you could screw up. Word doesn't always like pictures. They're better than they used to be when I first started working with them, but they still go a little funky. It can be very annoying. You realize there is the advanced side of it. It allows you to do a whole bunch of things. And it's really, you want to play with it, but for the most part, I really use it for sizing, layout. So here, I would like to make a square and mark it center. Okay, that's typically what I do. Okay, and now it's there. I don't want it there. Actually, I'm gonna just delete it. Bye-bye. I didn't hit the delete button, I did the undo button twice. Alright. That's how it works. So now I'm taking that into my copy. I'm gonna copy that whole section, Control C, so that I can set up for at the end of this. So I have the exact same spacing when I finally get down to the bottom. Because realize I want the exact same spacing between every single one. So end, enter, and view. So now, once I turn that into a chapter title, the spacing is the same. I have to prove it. No, cancel, cancel, no. No, we are not printing. Oh, you suck. Print preview. Oh, good thing I'm looking. Look at that. What is he doing? So you can see that this comes in at 3, and this comes in at 3. So they come in at the exact same spot. That just sucks. You'll notice that if I had widow and orphan, this guy over here would not have one line on that. It would pull it out, and then it would look funky. What's going on here? Why did you do that? Why are you doing this? No, you're not. Sorry, there. So page setup. See, vertical alignment for whatever reason is set to center. And I don't want that. I want it top from this point forward. Undo. And you just do that from top from this point forward. Did I do that right? I'm gonna redo. This section, from this point forward, we want top. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's just weird. Because it likes to format itself. That's the problem when you pull up a pre-formatted book. Down, 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 down. Okay, so I'm actually doing more than what I was planning. This is no longer a quick format because I'm setting it up. But once you have all of your chapters, it's just highlight and move. I have it saved still, so it works. And now if you notice, it's on the 3 line. Formatting is easy, all in all. Now, if I don't have exact ideas as to what I want, then there's concerns. But as long as I know how and what I'm formatting, is it necessary to format it when I'm just doing edits? No. I could just move on at this point. but I find it cute. See how easy this actually is? People look at formatting as if it's hell. Hell or high water. This was one of my favorite aspects, but I did come in with knowledge. I didn't come in blank and confused and having to research everything and doing this all. And I get it. It can be difficult. Is it necessarily that this story is great? No, probably not. I've mentioned to people that I like formatting, and that it's not exactly as hard as you think it is, because really the key with formatting is to use the formatting setups. I mean, I learned these things back in high school. It was one of the few classes I actually learned how to do something. Nope. If you're interested in actually reading this book, I can give you I can actually get you what's it called? Blank. I can send you the Google Docs link for it. It is a copy of the book that was published. I actually have all of them on Google Docs because my brother likes reading them. Good, I know what I'm doing. But the first two are set as part of the group. See, it's much, much easier than you're giving it credit for once you have those set up. Now, setting those up can be complicated, and this particular formatted group has formats that I can use. I'm like, I don't care, I don't know, and I can just put in the ones that they have it. It's about to hit delete. So that, why are we doing that? I'll do that later. I have to go back up to the top and set it up so that everything beyond this point is, I'm fucking my own formatting up. Luckily, you can have a whole bunch of fuck-ups in formatting inside the book because it won't register because it's just a picture. That's all you're getting out of this is a picture. So that's why they're like, make a PDF file. A PDF file will give you a copy picture, an image of what the image will actually look like. But that's what they're doing. They're turning it into a PDF file. And you can do that on your own and send them and give them the PDF, which is a highly suggested item if you're dealing with a lot of pictures or a lot of complicated formatting. This stuff is built in, so it's not hard. Look, I'm on page 190 out of 293, so I'm really just jumping through it. I am not doing any form of edits. This is strictly formatting. Editing is a completely different thing. I'm cutting down on the pages because I'm doing less space between the lines. And it's pretty much a double space. And my font is different too. Do 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 do. It'll be interesting to see how long this stream takes, because it'll give me an idea of how long it takes me to format a basic novel. And this is one of the novels. With that many pages, it's definitely a novel. Undo. Oh. My first time, I think I actually learned how to format on a typewriter before I learned how to format on a computer, because the computer has auto formats in it, and I never needed anything beyond the auto formats. So this is a Todd Levin. I want to turn that into normally when I do my about page, I don't write a new one for each one. I just take a previous one and I just did this one. See, I'm working on triggers here. So I did this. I'm just taking it. I'm just copy. Where are you? This one. Paste. And there is now links out. And you know what? Nope. Legend body, because I have that one done. Front matter. Little is known. I'm kidding. So this, I actually want wouldn't you like to know? I don't know, because I'm not dealing with it right now. Alright, so okay, so generally speaking, I'll do black and white. And with black and white font book inside, these would turn out to be black anyway. But I'd rather make sure that they all are black, and I'd rather get off the underline. So they can keep the hyperlink, that doesn't matter. And all the information is still there. It's nonsense. nonsense. Chocolate rope nonsense. Home. So now, I'm going to show you this. Now I can do up to 6 pages. Now mind you, a page is the duo. And you'll notice that, I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Here. File. Cancel. I do want to save them. And it will take longer to save these files because they have more to them. And I want this point forward is top. Okay, so now all of them after this point are top. I preference that. I'd rather move them down using enter keys than to have it get confused. So now we're going to look at it again. Oh, we won't see that strange. You'll notice that the page starts up at the first line, goes all the way down to the bottom. The opening lines, I've been putting a little tiny wolf. These are my Modern Werewolves series, it makes sense. I will need to change the context, but it doesn't actually matter. See how massively long these chapters are? I'm gonna definitely cut them out. See, it did it again. You're a pain. I have to go in there and make sure that's fixed. They're all doing it. Okay, so one of the things that hasn't been done is we haven't done titles. Or not titles. Header footer. And it really needs one. So we're gonna close this. We're gonna end. And we're gonna page set up this as top. Yes. Solves the problem. Better solve the problem. See? Solves the problem. Because I'm good at this. Okay, so that was one problem. The other problem is we need to do header footer. So we don't want this one to be same as previous because this one is the start of my book. And I think I just want to do, are you on the right or are you on the left? You should start on the left. So I need what could do? 1, 2, 3. Sheesh, it's just being difficult. So I want this to say, do I want it to say something or do I just want page numbers? I think I just want page numbers. Interesting that it decided that that's what it needed to do. Just switch the format. Oops. I don't know why it did this. This is why you check things. It's nonsense. I feel like I screwed myself over and caused all these this formatting errors. Whatever, it's not that important. So I'm not putting in what book this is, I'm just doing the the number, the page number. I don't feel like I have refrained from doing having a whole bunch of things in the header and footer. You can totally add whatever you want. Same concept. And I used space key to make sure that this number, no, this number is in the right spot, and that's what you can do. You, I use center for the bottom. The even page is, it automatically puts it in the self, it's in the right position. Whereas the odd page, you have to get it to the end, and it's not always calming. But as I said, as long as it looks right, it's going to look right. So what if I wanted this to be special? I would cut off save at same as previous, delete everything, and then the next one that's odd, I would have to not click off same as previous as well, and reset it up. It's not that difficult. I had to do that for like the bet, because I wanted to let people know what story you're in. That's not really a concern here. There we go. I'm accidentally hitting buttons. Format. Getting close to the end. Yay! So what would happen if I just did this? And I don't want... Requires you to set up the headings. But I don't have them set up as headings. I have them set up as paragraphs. This says book title. We don't want book title. Can't see what I'm doing here. So that was the formatting. Now when we look at it, it's important that they're on the right side. What happened here? Ugh. Suck. This, for whatever reason, doesn't have it. Okay, let's do it again. So now you'll notice that the page numbers are in the correct position. The bottom is centered, which is typical for a book, and then you have in the top corner of outside corner for the top page number. And generally speaking, if you put any other header footer content, it's going to be centered. I've done a whole bunch of different things, but this one, when I just do chapters, already on page, I go through a lot of pages at once. Close. One of the things that I want to do is Control N. The one thing that I've noticed is these guys should be a size 12 font, and they should be Garamond. Size 12 font, and they should be Garamond. See? It's like, what? 12 Garamond. Making sure that you go through and get all these correct is kind of important. More than you realize. These are the little formatting things that matter extensively, and I'm not going to do all of them. I'll check, because it will be noticeable if they've changed when I look at the formatted copy. So I pretty much have an entirely formatted book here. This would work. People would think that it's a good formatting skill. And it's not like I spent an insane amount of time. How long have I been doing this? An hour and a half. I got this novel done. And no, it really isn't much harder to do it when I am doing from scratch. Because it takes the same amount of time whether I'm doing from scratch or not. Because really the key is to make sure that you set up your styles and formatting, which shouldn't be that hard. Format, styles and formatting is down here, pops up on this side, and if I close it and did it, styles and formatting pops up on your side, and you want new styles. You want to create new styles to suit. Alright. Not going to do the page numbers, because what I do for page numbers is I would... My first day of school is on page 1, right? Can this day get any worse? There we go. So here, I go find, can this day get any worse? Shows me there first, and now it shows me this. And what it is not giving me is the stupid, there you go. So it's on page 16, so I put that on page 16. I go back to here, and then I find the next one, which I did not show. Singing a la karaoke. Where are we? Find singing a la, and that's on page 29. 29. Go down. And day 2. Find day 2. Sometimes I have to wait and find the actual title because the wording for the title is used for something else. Friendly questions. I have to make sure I click on the bottom. Friendly questions. And 59. This is new friends, new friends. I'm doing Control F, which is your find. And then I go down and delete that nonsense. Find the big cheer on. See, it's a thing in there, but we want the, oops. Rumored Trolls on. Find the Rumored Trolls 103. 103, not 104. Penwolves. Find Penwolves 104. Find slumber party. This one should have. Oh, never used the word. Oh. Oh. Now I don't know what it is. Marking. And it's 151. And because everything is set up properly, it's very easy to see where my chapters are. So Alpha's request, and that is on page 185. 185, 10, 15. Mated is 196. See, these are the type of things you're like, what is that button for? What does it do? And it does this, and it allows me to find things. I don't need that up anymore. So 15, Autumn, Antics, and that's 215. The Play. $232, 17, the Enemy Wolf, 244, 18, $258 is protected. I think 258. And that should be it. I don't have triggers yet. 269. Okay. So I got rid of it, and I wanted to see this one. So content. So this is in size 12 font. So what I want to do is, instead of doing that, I'm just going to Hmm. Whatever. Not important. I think this is formatted as much as I need it to be. Decide how I want to do that. There are several different options. Ugh. Okay, so this is done. Save. Now what I would do is, if I want to do the next one, go to the beginning. I'm gonna save as, and instead of MD1, it's gonna be MD2. MD2 is the Secret of Preshift. Still Todd Levin, it's still the same copyright. I don't have the ISBN, so I don't need to change it. Dedication is for the series, so it stays. The disclaimer is the same. So it's not until we get to here, and I can just leave this here for now. All the more reason for me to get rid of content. So now, I go all the way to the end, So the about the author stuff is all the same. So that's all covered. This is pack 413. This is Preshift. I don't want that one. This is Unwanted. This is pack 413. So I want Secret of Preshift ebook final. Disclaimer. So here is end. Copy. MD2. View. So now I just need to set them up as now chapter titles. So if I'm like, I don't feel like formatting, I'm just gonna format the whole thing as chapter. So now when I go down it, it's gonna suck. So what I did was I turned everything into a chapter, which can be beneficial to an extent. But it's gonna make finding my chapters more difficult. So there's a trick. I already know the chapter titles. I have a list of the chapter. I do a table of contents with hyperlinks on my books that get super long. So I'm like, I can't find it. I don't see it. It doesn't exist. Now, 101 is definitely here somewhere. So I'm gonna go back up to the front. I'm gonna bring up my table of contents. My class trip is already set. Find beta friends, just like with before. And if you notice that that is clearly a title. So we want to pull up MD1. Copy. And now I go to MD2 and view. And it's there. That's the exact same formatting that's used for the previous one. Oh, that particular one does not. Nope. I did Control D instead of Control S. Control D gives me formatting. So now I just have to go and find my titles. Will you be my chapter title? View. And there it is. New pack. Find new pack. Chapter title. View. Done. Next one. Shopping trip. Chapter title. View. Learning pack. See, there's several ways to do this, and they all have benefits. I do like the ability to find. I misspelled it. New beta bloods. New beta blood. Teaching to train. Another pack visit. Beta blood deep. Missing. Medical wounds. Final attack. Adoption. And there, it's done. And since I already set up everything as the chapter paragraph and just went in and fixed the chapter titles, because I have a list, I pulled it from a different area. It's all copied. Now I can just save this information, copy, and see if it works. Shopping trip. There's more. No, it's not. There's less. So this should be about Todd leaving, and this one would be triggers, and then we delete that. It's being difficult. Whatever. Just won't be noticeable. So here, they're all hyperlinked. So I want okay, they're still technically hyperlinked. They're hyperlinked to the other book though, so it's not going to get me anywhere if I did that. So I could do control, click, and get nowhere. Actually, does it? Yeah, it technically works because I copied and pasted the whole thing. Alright, so now if we look at that, that was even faster than before. If you notice, everything is already set up because I previously set it up. That's one of the things about formatting off of a You Suck. There we go. Excuse me, continue from previous section, thank you. Uh-oh, here's another error. Something happened here. And random things like that. But for the most part, my work is done. See, here's another situation where I don't know why it's deciding to do that every single time. What the fuck? It wants to restart things. No, dude. Every single time. See, what happens is when I do pull in a format from elsewhere, I have a tendency to get this sort of nonsense. Okay, do it again. That's what I do. I pull up the print preview to see how my general formatting is, make sure that things are pretty much aligned where you want them to, that I'm not jumping pages or screwing up my page numbers, positioning's alright, everything is pretty. If someone were to get this book, not that I would be doing it, they would be pretty content with it. Okay? And I'll probably, instead of doing books by Todd Liebman, do the entire list for Modern Werewolves. Oh, wait a second. What happened here? It's just weird. What's going on here? What? How did that happen? Why did that happen? Why are you being difficult? Okay, somehow that happened. I don't know why it did that at all. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I got to figure out how many MDs I actually have. I went in here and oh, okay, access. I separated out. Currently, they're all completed, and I have a lot of them. Some of them are shorts, some of them are novellas, some of them are novels, and I gotta decide what's going where. Like, I should probably bring in The Secret of Tana to The Secret of Preshift, or The Secret of Pack 413. I gotta decide a few other things. Alright, so I'm gonna stop. And this is nearly 2 hours. I've been working for 2 hours on this. I need to take a break. I need to get some food in me. I need to get a drink. And I will go back to doing formats later. I don't know. Now, the first one, it took me about an hour and a half to set up a formatting collection for Modern Werewolves, but now that I have it, it only took me like a half hour to do book 2. This is only possible when I have everything needed for the book. If the book isn't completed, I can't format. If I am missing any piece of information, if I'm not sure how I want to organize it, like where do I want to put the Secret of Tano? If I wanted to, I could easily set it up. Like, back to me. Like, okay, so I want to add. Okay, so what if I just wanted to add it here? Undo. No, undo. So copy. So for one, I'm going to set it up like that. And then I'm going to go in and pull open the Secret of Tano. All copy. I haven't edited this one in a while. Now I go back and find where it's dirty. This all gets made into, it's not there, MD chapter paragraph. And then this becomes MD chapter title. And that's already set up. Let me look at it. Make sure that something happened here. Okay. Interesting there. I want to do because you're on a left side. Okay, whoops. So now when I look at it, the Secret of Tano is now set up. So I just added in an extra chapter to it, and it's done. Now the reason I would choose one over the other is I got 286 pages on this one. I got 270 pages on this one. So Secret of Tano was 269. So it was a shorter book before the edition than this one. So I definitely wanted to add it to the shorter book because Secret of Tano is actually prior to both, and the characters that they deal with are characters that are found in the 2 series, but you don't have a lot of interaction with them in book 1, so and you get a lot of them in book 2, so I could do either or. And since it's a shorter book, I'll do it there. And then I have Secret of Title. Oh, I know what Secret of Title is. So that is all of them that are here. So I got to do Secret of Luna, Secret of Title, and Secret of Scar are both going onto the Secret of Luna. Then I have Secret of Search. Oh, no. Crap. Secret of Search is not a full book. It is a novella. So Secret of Luna is 98 pages. Secret of Search is only 41. So what I might do is go into Modern Werewolves 1 and 2 and remove all the bonus content. The shorts that I have in these two, because I just added Secret of Tano to this, and I also have Secret of Tersay. So the Secret of Tersay, the Secret of Tano, adoption chapter here, the Secret of Title and the Secret of Scar. Secret and Title and the Secret of Scar, because I have my windows open, so I get to hear all the noise outside. And I also have another one. I think it's the Secret of Beta Blood, and it's not here. I gotta go find it. That I could add as well. They're all for the beginning, so I might just do a bonus book with the novella and a whole bunch of shorts. The Secret of Search is the one that I just finished, where I killed the main character in the end, because I'm great like that. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Fine. And since these are over 200, if I go and knock off Protect It, the Secret of Tersay, I'm looking at 261 and beyond. So what I want to do is enter. Cup. And then I'm going to put that somewhere else. You. There you go. And then that's MD1. Save. Home. I got rid of home and delete. Really? Ugh. You suck. There we go. Save. And this one, the final chapter, adoption, is actually more an epilogue, but I kind of left it. So now this one's at 266, this one's at 271, really? Secret of Search, so my new document is currently 20 pages. Bonus shorts for MD 1, 2, 3. Desktop save, because that's where I'm putting it. The Secret of Search is going to be 4. Nope. And that should be everything. So I'm going to end stream now so I can go eat and then do more work. Alright, if anyone has any questions about how to format, about various writer questions, about this, that, or the other thing, I do have the answers. Next time that I come on, I should be streaming Final Fantasy IX. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today or not, but I will be getting back to that shortly. I gotta reset up my desk. See you.